Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Welcome to this Essex Business Forum. I asked last week for a similar turnout as last week, and we got it. Welcome. We are 27, but we have Charlie back. Welcome. Morning. And we have George here this afternoon. Right. With that, we'll get underway. It is Thursday, the 17th of April, 2025, so that you all know where you are, or where you are. The meeting is about to pick up us with the leadership team. Please be understanding. Introduce yourself.
Morning all, Vincent. I'm Associate Secretary and I'm also the official timekeeper.
Morning guys, Ben, Education Coordinator. Good morning Scott, your meeting Secretary. Yes, Joe.
Sure.
I know.
That's it, meeting secretary. Good morning everybody. I'm Terry, I deal with membership and
Well, please be seated.
No.
Right? Yes. Okay. Yeah. Stay there. It'll help speed things up. Be on your best behaviour time-wise today. As I said, we've got a full house. Our example, of course, would be Toby, who can talk in 10 minutes, 5 minutes, but
About 15 minutes.
that's all right. Okay, so let's get underway with the Performance League. Scott, you're up.
Thank you very much. Yes, Performance League. So we're 3 weeks in on the chart. Happy to report that half of the members have already topped that 88-point benchmark we look for. With today's meeting, I'm sure that probably most of us can achieve that. So well done. At the top of the table, there's a number of members on 3 digits in their scores, but third place, 130 points is Toby Acton, and then 232 points for Podcast Paul, and 249 points for Tom Paul. So well done to you guys. Clearly you've got to have a nickname to be at the top of the league. There we go. You can do one
Right. Thank you very much, Scott. I'll make sure I give you plenty of notice for standing up next time. Education presentation, Ben.
Thank you very much. So straight on to today, we're going to hand over to none other than Paul Toby.
Right, question for you to start with. Who spends money on advertising and marketing? We all do, we're all here.
Oh,
Yeah, for a start. Obviously there's lots of other different advertising and marketing. You name it, you could do an advert in a local magazine, you could do spend money on a website, Google, buy a database, going on an exhibition. So lots of different forms of advertising and marketing. And anything funny, Vincent? No? Generally, the more advertising and marketing we do, the more it costs. Down to reason, doesn't it? Don't know about you, I don't particularly like spending money. I prefer not to, but we all need it to acquire clients. So it's a necessary spend. Within the group, there's about 28 or 29 members. If we were to grow that to say 40 members, how much extra would it cost us as members to get those at level 11 members? Nothing. So that's quite unlike any other advertising marketing. It's not costing us any money at all. So really what we should be doing is trying to get more visitors and members to join up, knowing it's not going to cost us any more money, and we're going to get more clients from it. The other beauty is that getting new members, they will pay their subscriptions, etc., and then we can use that money to promote members' interests, livestock, etc. More money for social activities. So, really, the importance of getting new visitors and members is a nil cost to all of us, which we can all benefit. So, yeah, hopefully, with this in mind, if we can all try and concentrate on getting some visitors along while the morning is nice and bright, that will be good for all of us. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Paul. Very close to my heart, your message. There we are. Go out and get them. Right. Membership matters. But before that, yes, sorry, membership matters. It is without any hope of anything really exciting coming up. But I ask you, Terry, do we have any membership matters? Right. Okay. We'll without more ado then, we'll move on. And moving on means, of course, the 62nd round. Now, before, as usual, let's send our little the box round. Let's send our business cards through. Make sure you're adequately represented in that. Take cards that you might need to make referrals. Our timekeeper. That's after 50 seconds, and after 60, you hear that sign off. The Oscar winner was Paul, and he will be listening carefully, and he will of course go first as well. He will go first in the 62nd round, and John will be the next to follow. So, take it away, Paul.
Good morning, everyone. Paul DeLue, Essex Business here. We help craft, create, mould, personalised services and ceremonials to help you celebrate and remember life's milestones. Interesting introduction by Aidan in after the 60 seconds. I was listening carefully, and actually listening carefully is something that I have to do as part of my job, because there's no point sitting down with people, asking them about their loved ones or asking them about their romantic life together or asking about their young child if they don't actually listen. And the asking questions bit is important as well, but not as important as the listening bit. And I brought my microphone from the podcast today because it dawned on me this morning that actually on the podcast, I'm on there about 10% of the time, probably 5% of the time. Then I ask a question and I listen. When I'm meeting clients, I ask a question and I listen. So that's what I do. I'm doing Essex Business professional listener.
Thank you very much, Paul. John, you're next. You're followed by Matt.
Good morning, everyone. John from Brentwood. I just wanted to bring in today a lock that I installed. It's we can't see it. It's a 3-star lock by a company called Apex. They're a fantastic company based in Birmingham, and this is one of their highest quality locks that they provide. It does pretty much everything you'd want. It's got all the anti-pick, anti-drill, anti-bump, anti-snap, and everything on it. So it's a really good quality lock. But the reason I wanted to bring this in particularly was because I had the misfortune of actually having to bypass one of these during the week. It's for a customer that I installed it for a number of months ago. His mechanism failed, so his door was jammed shut, which meant I had to basically remove the lock to be able to open the door for him. And this is all that's left of it. So when I say it's anti-snap, when I tried to snap it, that's all that came off. So essentially left that massive bit in the middle there in place, protecting the mechanism inside, which I then had to drill through. Whoops. And it left with this, a bit of a mangled mess. But I snapped 2 drill bits, and it took about an hour to get through. So when you, sorry, we've all gone over here. I'll sit down. Yeah, when you're buying it, you're getting a good quality product. Thank you, John from Lockwood.
Yeah, just Matt, you're followed by James.
Good morning, everyone. Matt from Blue Serif. We've been working on a couple of projects over the last 6 months that are based around holiday lets. We've just finished one, which is a very nice chalet in the south of France. So if you're interested, there might be some availability. But we've done a whole brand piece for them. We've helped sort out various other sort of digital and marketing assets and give them some starting advice about just setting up a marketing plan for them and giving them the tools to promote themselves. So while you're on your holidays, please, if you're going to a very nice chalet in south France, or actually Austria skiing, because I do quite like it, but anywhere, and you think, do you know what, their marketing presence, their digital presence, their branding could do with a bit of an uplift, please do, refer them to me. You know, I do like to go on location and really get under the skin of these projects. So thank you very much, Matt. Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Matt. James, you're next, and you're followed by George.
Hi, James from Brown Insurance. Carl's in the box, provided by head office, not by this, unfortunately, in the home times. We should have done used links because if you see it on the card, it says Brown Insurance, it says James Humphreys, Commercial Account Executive, name, email address, telephone number. No idea what I do for a living. I have 400 of these because they said the first 100, I sent back to don't say insurance. So, okay, so another 100. That's repeated. Anyway, so we are better than our team that do the stuff. Briefly about insurance, holiday insurance. Don't really come to me unless you've got something really weird, you've got a long trip. But get yourself online, little short couple of days holiday insurance, and you go to Cornwall. That's where I spent last week. It's amazing. The people are wonderful, the place is wonderful, and you come back so much refreshed. You can even face it on the 5 o'clock in the morning steam. So, James Brown Insurance, comes to me for anything. Got the floppies to pass,
Right, thank you, James. Colleague Tail, George, you're next, you're followed by Melissa.
Morning all, George from Southern Tech Plumbing Heating. Nice to see you all again. We're currently working on a project with a group of people that organise a Malden mud race to build their showers. So as the compressors come out of the waist deep mud, they get a nice cold shower to wash it all off. So we've got the guys down at the office at the moment building a big steel structure, which is probably sort of the height of these beams. But once it's all done, I'm sure Paul will show you plenty of pictures of that one. We're also looking at our heat plans to cover boilers, heating, maintenance throughout your house. You can have that for as little as 88p a day. So scrap the toffee, scrap the newspaper in the morning. You can be warm all year round. We also carry out a plumbing check on the whole house, so it's not just the boiler we're looking at. It's your taps, wastes, everything, radiator valves, circulation. Then we can make advisories on the system and make it efficient to save money, gas and all. But George from Southern Tech Plumbing Heating, thank you.
Melissa, you're followed by David.
Good morning, everybody. Mr. Jackson, in my Francis Licensing Competition. This week we went into battle with HMRC. It's been a battle of many rounds. The client was subject to a winding up petition, and what you may not know is that HMRC, when presenting a petition, has to advertise that petition. Once it's advertised, it's in the public domain, and that may prevent the company from then putting forward further options. So we went to court and we obtained conjunctive relief against HMRC, allowing the company to then look at other options, hopefully to do a CVA in the future. So if you know anybody who is subject to a winding up petition, they think they're on their knees and that they haven't got any options, don't put them to me and we can defend them with them, or hopefully avoid a winding up petition and find out some solutions here. So it's Mr. Jackson, who wants us to.
Thanks, Melissa. Dave next, and followed by Corey.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Dave Moore from Millfloor Limited. We're based in Essex, Brentwood. We do all kinds of flooring and tiling coverings. I just wanted to talk to you about prep again, guys. I went for a job at the beginning of the week. It's about 70 square metres, and they've got water underfloor heating. And the builder who prepped the floor did not prime the floor. And when I got there, I could have basically lifted the whole lot of latex off the floor, so the floating floor, guys. And so it's going to cost someone a lot of money to get fixed, because I don't know how far it would have to be back to get it right again. But yeah, it's important to get the prep work right, guys, for the right covering of the flooring. More flooring. I'm Dave from Millfloor Limited. We've got you covered. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dave. Corey, you're next, and you're followed by Clara.
Good morning, everyone. Corey Martin here from Martin and Martin Renewables and Couriers. Today I'm going to use my 6 seconds to do two things. One, so on the courier side, we're looking for businesses like florists and laundromats that do service washers for us to deliver their clothes from. So we collect them from the customer and actually drop it off back to the customer. Also, on the removal side, we're still looking for individuals that move from 3-bed houses, apartments. With those, we offer a pack and move service, and also a unpacking and cleaning service as well, especially for those that like landlords that when their tenants move out, we can actually move them and actually clean to professional standard. So when the other person comes in, it's nice and clean. That's it. Corey Martin from both of the services we offer.
Thank you, Corey. Clara, you're next, and you're followed by Catherine.
Clara Downton Mortgages and Financial Services. So this week I just wanted to kind of remind you all that, you know, a lot of people come to me with a kind of view, you know, this is what I want to do. And I had an example this week where I was chatting to a client and they were like, oh yeah, I want to do this. I was like, well, you know, have you thought about, you know, what other things you may want to do? And have you thought about what's important with this and that and the other? And I was having this conversation earlier, you know, that actually sometimes you can really help guide somebody, and that's what I'm there to do. It isn't just there is one route with a mortgage, which people seem to think there is one route. The analogy I used this week is there are lots of doors, and it's about finding the right door for you to go through. So make sure that if you know anyone who wants to kind of look at their mortgage, we're looking at the right door for them, and that's kind of my message for this week. So yeah, if you know anyone who needs to do something with their mortgage, give me a shout. Clara Downton Mortgages and Financial Services.
Catherine, followed by Ben.
Morning everyone, Catherine Foley, Industries of Glass. I'm talking to you about bread reading today. So summer's coming, lots of outside dining, which means lots of temporary menus. I've not gone down this route before, but I was eating outside at the weekend and I saw that I could order a refreshing diet coke. I resisted, but it is hard at 60 seconds, so further research revealed that other delicious treats included sweat treats as opposed to sweet treats. I've got to pronounce these really carefully, otherwise you won't hear it at all. Ass cream cakes, nice. Mini dog nuts, or roast beef severed with horseradish. So if you see similar signs and think that the owner might take kindly to constructive advice and proofreading, they might not, they might just punch you. Let's ask them my card and I can help. Thank you very much.
Ben, try and get your words right. I'll try.
Good morning, guys. Ben Golding from Utility Warehouse. However, this week I am Ben the Easter Bunny. And I have a special treat. I have a very special Easter egg with a magic present inside. What is it, I hear you cry? Why? It's a card! And when you give this card to your friends and family over Easter, I can go hopping mad and save their money with the UK's cheapest energy, great value broadband, massive discount on multi-SIMs, plus cashback on all their shopping. So this Easter, give your friends and family an Easter treat and give them my card so I can help them to save money with the UK's cheapest, the UK's most trusted, and the UK's most awarded utility company. So that's Ben the Easter Bunny with Utility Warehouse with egg extravagant savings.
Try and get out of our minds. It was the Easter Bunny, but well done. Thank you very much, Ben. Mike, you're next. You're followed by Stuart.
I started off taking pictures of Ben then and realised James's disappointed face was much better. Morning everyone, Mike from Black Multimedia. I create video photography and drone content for businesses. So right now I'm particularly looking for clients who need regular content, ideally from numerous different sources on their end.
It's people like event organisers, property developers, marketing agencies, higher-end estate agents, construction firms, councils and venues are also really good, and even recruitment agencies. Anyone that's juggling with different projects and different clients and is in need of fresh professional media to put out for them. Because as much as I like talking to people and going out and doing that, it's much better for me to be focused on the creative side than trying to bring in clients and email and do the cold side of it. So if you know anyone in those circles, or if I've forgotten anyone like that deals with numerous different businesses, please send them my way. I'd love to help make their lives easier and make their brand stand out. Mike from Black Media, making your business look the business. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. Stuart, you're followed by Josh.
Morning everybody, Stuart from Brentwood Network. Cloud service provider. What does that actually mean? It means we provide IT support, it means we provide voice over IP, telephony services, internet services, business mobiles, communications. Who do we do that for? We're looking for businesses, about 5 people upwards, and we're looking for businesses that are struggling with those current services, that are frustrated by slow internet services, frustrated by lack of IT support, concerned about their IT security. There are a lot of businesses out there that just take the basic Microsoft licensing, for example, and don't layer any security on top of that. And that does leave them massively vulnerable. So if you know any businesses, ideally London and South East, but for certain services we can be national, that are fed up with their telephony, their internet, their IT support, please put me in touch with me. My name's Stuart from Entrepreneurship.
Thank you, Stuart. Josh, you're followed by Toby.
Right, good morning everyone, I'm Joshua, Chartered Architect and Director of JLC Studio. Just thought I would inform everyone on something that I'm being asked a lot about, and that's permitted development. So permitted development is often where you can apply for, you can get planning permission where a lot of the parameters are already preset, so you've just got an increased chance of getting it. But just a few things that a lot of people don't tend to realise is if you buy a property that's already been extended, under permitted development, if your house is terraced, you can extend by 3 metres. If it's detached, you can extend by 4 metres. But that's from the original house. So if you've already got an extension that's 2 metres, then on a detached house, you can only add an additional 2 metres under permitted development. And for any other property, it's 1 metre. So if you would like more information about that, or you know anyone else who has been talking about doing some form of extension, then get them to get in touch with me. Joshua from JLC Studio. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Joshua. Toby, you're followed by Scott.
Morning everybody, Toby, Acton, Personal Business Mentor. I'm doing the 10 minutes this morning. I've got about 15 minutes worth of stuff to cram into those 10 minutes. I'm going to sit down now and take 45 seconds later.
Thank you, Toby. And Scott, you're followed by Terry.
Good morning. I thought I'd kind of try and explain why I'm different as a web designer. I would consider I'm a challenging web designer, perhaps challenging to work with, but challenging because thank you, Matt, for laughing at me. Challenging because I will ask you questions that cheap, easy web designers will take what you want, just build your website. That's not the way to do it. I will challenge, why are you having this page? Why, when you offer 6 services in your company, have you just got one services page that mentions all 6 services, but no further detail? It's not going to work. No one's going to be able to find you on Google. We need a page for each of those services. And each of those pages is going to need at least 600 words describing in detail what you do. So I'm a challenging web designer that will tell you not to have photo galleries, but to have case studies, telling the story behind the pictures, making sure that you've got, unfortunately, tons more work to do to make your website work for you. Thank you very much.
Scott, Terry, you're next. Followed by
Thanks, Abe. Good morning, everybody. Terry Mayton from Sierra Law. Charlie said, I told you last week I was suing on pretty well anything, but I've been suing them quite a lot of debt work lately, and I've sued a relatively small amount of debt. It was about £1,800, and the debts are paid off a few £100 after I sued them. And then he said, well, I'll pay off the rest. It was about £1,500 balance. But unfortunately for him, I'd added on £520 compensation because there was a whole list of invoices and there's compensation for each one and quite a few £100 in interest. But he didn't want to pay this. So well, it's your choice. Don't pay it, I'll enter judgment and then we'll come after you and do some very unpleasant things, don't we, sir? or pay it. And finally came to his sense of yesterday and asked for the balance, and he was horrified how much extra we'd added on, because the debt only started off at £1,800. He ended up paying probably another £800 in interest and costs and profit and so forth. So if you know anyone that's owed money, you know where to send them. That's Terry, T Moore.
Thank you very much, Terry. Right, Dave Roberts, you're followed by Oxford.
Morning, everybody. Dave from Electrical. We're electricians based in Brentwood. One of the services we offer is electrical testing. It's a really good referral for me. And what we've found out recently is we've been going around to like rental properties and testing them. But as part of that, we also inspect smoke alarms. The smoke alarms, I don't know if people know, but they've actually got like an expiry date on them. So that's normally about 10 years from the date of manufacture. We've been going into properties where there's some of the alarms are like 15 years old. So we've been informing the landlords and obviously changing them to make the whole lot safe. There's inside them, there's the actual stuff that inside that deteriorates over time. So if you want an inspection done safely, make sure your tenants are safe, please give me a call. Thank you very much, Dave from Electrical.
Next Dave Howard, you're followed by John Howard.
Good morning.
Morning.
Howard Wood from Clear Financial Advice. We're independent financial advisors in Ramsey, Brentwood. Now, just because you can doesn't necessarily mean you should. And that's good advice for lots of walks of life, for lots of situations. So I could ignore the fact that I'm a diabetic and eat whatever I like, options. I could say, cut your remarks about Paul, about the way Paul. Well, there's lots of things I can say about it. Well, I probably shouldn't, regardless of how much you want. Tomorrow, I'm 55, which means I can take the tax-free cash out of my pension. Well, I probably shouldn't, and I'm not going to, so I'm not going to retire yet. And I get calls like that about once a week, once every other week. People who reach 55 and they're saying, oh, I can take the tax-free cash out of my pension. And the first thing I do is ask them why. Sometimes I've got a very legitimate reason, like that they're swamping in debt. Absolutely fine. And sometimes it's just because they want it. And that's not a good enough reason for me. I think that money should be used for the right purpose. And sometimes I'll very politely decline to help. So the only people who've reached that age and think, well, give me a cash out, get to everything safe with me and I'll have to decide whether it's a really good idea or not. Thank you.
Thank you, Howard. John Hammond is next, and he's followed by Blake.
Good morning, everybody. I was talking about certificates as well. They brought it up, but I'm going on about automatic doors and the car park barriers, any fire alarms and emergency lighting. All of it should be tested to a standard. We do that. Dave does that. The automatic gates, you're meant to test force detection on them and everything else like that to make sure it's all compliant. So many people just do a functionality test. And we've come across it again this week. We've just done a school that had a big organisation doing their emergency lights. Not one of their emergency lights really complies. They all fail within 3 hours. But they've signed to say it's all fully working because they just do a flick test. They're so lacking in emergency lights that in the areas you'll fall down the stairs. So if you want to be compliant and you don't want to be in trouble, get someone reliable and make sure the certificate says not only tested but compliant to the standard. And that's what it's about, is that compliant, because their certificate they've got says functionality test only. So that's me, John Hammond from JMH Technology, applying technology to security.
Thank you very much, John. Blake, you're next, and you're followed by Vincent.
Good morning, everyone. Blake from Hamilton. Ben 60 seconds was a bit unfortunate. What's Sunday? Easter. So, if anyone's going to camp out and wait for the Easter Bunny, I've got chairs. If anyone's going to camp out and wait for the Easter Bunny, I've got ration packs. If anyone wants to blow up the Easter Bunny, I have flashbangs. So if you want to catch the Easter Ben, come to me. Thank you.
Thanks. All the things to help them really enjoy Easter. Vince, you're next, followed by James.
Dear Vincent, thank you so very much for the work you did on my late husband's order of service booklets. It was beautifully presented and in very good time, for which sincere thanks. God bless you, Christine Charlery. I like that. The level of personal attention I offer my clients is very thorough. The PDF designed by this particular family had multiple errors, typos, positioning too close to the edge, document parameters weren't set to A5. I'm quite fussy because if the job's printed incorrectly, the blame will be pointed at me, not the family. And that, my friends, is the difference between ordering funeral printing online and ordering from someone who cares, which is me. The only printing company that gives you events. So, come to Speed Print, I'm not lying, we print for the dead and dying.
Thank you, Dennis. Jane, followed by me.
Hello, Jane from the English Cream Tea Company. I need you to get past Ben and Easter to Monday. Next Monday is National Tea Day. Would you believe? And I got interviewed yesterday by Amazon's marketing company, and so I'll be quoted on Tuesday apparently in the Daily Mail and Mirror and blah blah blah, all about the resurgence of tea drinking amongst the 20 to 30-year-olds who are turning a little bit away from coffee, which is about a £5 to buy one in Starbucks, to the cheaper alternative with lots of variety, less calories, and has the added attraction of being sophisticated. So here's to tea drinking. Expand your horizons. There's thousands of varieties to try. I carry 26 of them, so do ask me for tea. And let's hope they don't put falsehoods under my name like they did last time when they stated Jane Mannion, expert in afternoon tea, said it must be green first. I got 32,300 links. That's
And of course, Jane, not only is tea as you described, it also still has caffeine in it, doesn't it? Fine. So the 20 to 30-year-olds out there, Brett Squire from TM Law, Russian roulette, Texas shootout, a couple of terms used for deadlock resolution clauses that go into shareholders' agreements where there are 50-50 owners who have equal powers. So dispute resolution in a shareholders' agreement can take 2 or 3 forms. It can be mediation and arbitration, it can be third-party decision-making, or it can be buy and sell, which is your Texas shootout. One party makes an offer, which is a binding offer for the other party's shares, and the other one either accepts it or makes a higher offer. Both are bound by how it goes. That is the Texas shootout, and however you do it, it's important if you are joint owners that you make sure you do have some deadlock resolution process. I can do it for you, you should do it. That's me. And next. Oh, right.
Morning, Paul Booth from Booth & Co. Chartered Certified Accountants based in Brentwood. At the moment we're doing about 4 UK residential capital gains tax declarations on behalf of clients. Some of the gains are quite hefty. As per usual, there's a 60-day inquiry window, so we need to better calculations, speak to the client, get the client's approval, and then make the online declarations to HMRC. Lots of individuals complete their own tax returns, particularly if they receive rental income, and when they sell their property, they might not have the full information on how to complete the calculations and get the lowest possible capital gains tax position. So if you're only one in that circumstance, please put it my way. That's probably the nice tax.
Thank you, Paul. Right, that's the end of the contribution of the members. Simply leaves me to ask Charlie to give us another 60 seconds.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks for a warm welcome back. I'm Charlie Footway, Director of August Exchange. I thought I'd give you a little bit of insight as to why people use us over their traditional banks. So, as of 2 weeks ago, we was introduced to a lovely couple for the purpose of GDPR, say Mr. and Mrs. Smith. They are looking to relocate to Spain, so they needed to purchase some euros for a property purchase. With their bank, they were quoted quite an excessive rate, coming in at around 4%. Over the last 2 weeks, we've been monitoring the rate, managed to catch the high as of Monday, and that's the high of 3 months, and we managed to save them over £10,000 on their transaction. So that's me, Charlie Courtway, able to assist with any foreign exchange needs that you may have. Thank you.
Thanks, Charlie. Right, that is the end of the 60-second round. So I'll hand you up to Paul for the award.
Really high standards as always. Made a few, I don't know to everyone, but a few particularly stood out. George, Mudra's stuff, sort of photos of the week, incredible. Still nowhere to be soaked and hanging just in gown. And also, you've got the heating fan in there as well. Unfortunately, you're not going to win though because it's so tight on top of the leaderboard that Paul gets sufficient points. It is that. Catherine Lovejoy's. It's not a good day that you hear a 60-second on top of next to the balls radish. Also, just a really great area to grow business because there are so many poor websites out there and shop signs and things as well. And it just, for me, as a bit of a language pedant, immediately it's one of those people. We've also got Blake, big fan of shooting the Easter Bunny. Because at home, even though my son is 11, we still have to do some sort of Easter Bunny. Instead at home, which means on Saturday night I'll be scrambling around the bloody garden. And well done, Charlie. Really, really interesting 6 seconds. Really illustrate what you do and how you can help people. However, because there's some sage advice in here, which I think we should all take to heart, and I think illustrates that amongst the EPF we've got some real experts, and we should always, people should always look to experts for advice when it comes to making decisions or making choices. Just because you can doesn't mean you should, but I will. How would you?
Paul, thank you very much. Excellent. Right, we've finished the 60-second round. Let's move on to these. Meeting section report. Take your time to go off the over.
Actually, I'm asking just a little request today. It's really lovely that there's a number of you, just in this last week, for example, decided to use the EBF's live chat facility to have a chat. I'm really busy. Sometimes, if I'm away from my desk, having dinner upstairs with the kids or whatever, and I can hear that alarm of, oh, there's a live chat downstairs, I will stop whatever I'm doing. I'm going back to my computer to answer that live chat. But when it's one of you lot just saying, oh, hello, Scotty. Please stop. Just if you're not a member and you want to talk about EDF and coming along, more than happy to give up my time and talk to you. But as much as I love you all, I'll just leave you alone.
In my defence.
Oh, it's not just you. There are many of us.
In my defence, I was going to make up something that there was a glaring error on the EDF website. We need to know that.
Then you should have called me. Exactly, or emailed me. I could have ignored you much easier.
Now, if you want to make us all happy, but also annoy Scott, make sure you do make electronic entries to the stuff, the paper that you pass around the day. And every time you do one of those, it'll pop up near a pin, but you don't do anything more. So he has to rush downstairs. So that will be forgiven by all but Scott. Right, 10-minute presentation now approaches us. Oh, no, before we do, one more. Podcast Paul.
Oh, hello.
Can you tell us a development about podcast?
Latest episode was out this morning. Thank you, Ben, for stepping in the last minute on Tuesday evening, having had technical issues with previous recording, which we're going to do next week. I'll go into 2 weeks' time. If anyone wants to be on the podcast, do drop me a line. And also looking for happy to have groups of people to discuss particular themes and topics. So, if you're on a small synergy group or there's a theme that covers a number of your businesses, drop me a line and let's have that, because it's all about, the podcast is about promoting businesses, yes, but it's all about promoting and highlighting the expertise and the knowledge of this group. So, but listener numbers are growing. We're not quite in the podcast top 10 yet. You know, we can know. Also, please remember to like, share, and post on your social media about the podcast. It's a great way to get the Essex Business Forum name out there and get them. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Paul. Okay, now we are ready to go for the 10-minute presentation. So I'll pass you over to Ben.
Thank you very much. Well, before I introduce today's speaker, updates on the next few weeks. There's been a slight change around. So next week, on the 24th, is doing the 10 minutes of next week. And the education will be provided by Podcast Paul. Going into May, 1st of May, I'll be doing the 10 minutes, and Catherine will be delivering her first education slot. 8th of May, Dave will be doing the 10 minutes, and I'll be doing the education slot. 15th, Aidan will be doing the 10 minutes, and Jane providing the education slot. And finally, 22nd, Catherine will actually be doing the 10 minutes there as well. And I know, it's literally come around so quick then. And I can't see who I've got down here now. Nick will be doing the education slots. When it is your turn to do the 10 minutes, please go to the EBF website, download the bio sheet, get it to me a day or two beforehand, or bring it with you to the meeting. Allow 8 minutes for a presentation, come to allow 2 minutes for questions, and don't forget to bring a speaker's prize. So today we have Toby Acton from Pole Position Solutions Limited. Nature of the business is businessy stuff and motivationally stuff. Normally, positioning the company is normally in the spare room upstairs, but we've located in Hyonga and pretty much anywhere that he is wanted. So, a few things about Toby. A bad experience with food. And I've got to say these right now. So, you ate mopane? Mopali worms in Zimbabwe and ended up spending 2 days in intensive care and another full week in hospital. I've got no idea, don't eat worms. Something you admire in others is the ability to write funny things in their EBF bio. A prized possession was his Blue Peter badge, but he's lost it. So he's going to stay his rubber duck collection. Dish you can cook well is not a lot, and something we all should avoid is Toby's cooking. So put your hands together, Toby Acton.
I've got a lot to get through, so I'm going to talk to you faster than normal. I'm going to talk about my business today, so that's the last time you'll see Matt's lovely logo. What I'm actually going to talk about is my family. As you know, this is my family, a stepson, daughter-in-law, 2 grandsons, and now 5 and 7. They live in Dubai. But I'm not just going to talk about my immediate family, I want to talk about my extended family. So that's the immediate family, that is my extended family. And as I said, they live in Dubai. This is us going to Dubai, and they're coming back from Dubai. But I'm actually going to be talking more about, some of you know I had a trip around Ireland last year, partly to scatter my sister's ashes, but also to research a bit of our family history, get to our old family estate at Wicklow. So this was us on the way to Ireland on the ferry, and this was us coming back from Ireland on the ferry. So there's been Actons in Shropshire recorded since the 14th century, and Thomas Acton Longlaw built a fortified manor house at Aldenham Park, and then it was later rebuilt in the 17th century to that house there, and that is the house today. It's now a wedding venue. We also have Acton Scott Hall, which is still standing. There's lots of places in Shropshire that bear the Acton name, villages and hamlets that have the Acton name, so we obviously own quite a lot of it. This was the Acton coat of arms, and that's an extract from our family tree there. So I just want to go through very quickly a little bit of my family tree. So this was my great, 10 times great grandfather, Sir Edward Acton. He was the first baronet of Scott Hall in Aldenham Hall, and he was High Sheriff of Shropshire, and he was also MP for Bridge North. He had a son, but then he had another son, who obviously didn't inherit Aldenham Hall.
So the second son, he was actually sent over to Ireland by Oliver Cromwell to help to crush the Catholic rebellion. So sorry to any Catholics in the room. Sorry. So yeah, it was part of what became the Protestant ascendancy, where the aim was to get a majority Protestant landowners and in terms of legal power and political power. So that was the aim, and yeah, it worked. So yeah, sorry. And he was rewarded for his efforts with a 1,300 acre estate in Kilmacarra, Wicklow, and which was then expanded through marriage to other local landowners' daughters to 5,000 acres that we owned. So he had a son called Thomas, who we don't know anything about other than the fact that he died, and he had another son. And he had a son called Thomas. Lots of, they weren't very imaginative. Thomas. And he again married into the local gentry, if you like. And he built the original central portion of Kilmacarra House, which we went to visit in May last year. He then had a son, and they got invented now, called this one William. He was Keeper of Writs of the Court of Common Pleas in Ireland and the Sergeant of the Coif, whatever that is. And there were loads of other uncles and aunts and brothers and sisters, but I've just kept this for the sake of brevity to the immediate family line. Then they went back to the Thomas name again. So his son was Thomas, barrister at law, High Sheriff of County Wicklow. And then for another Thomas. No, then we went on to William. He was Justice of the Peace. He was in the Wicklow militia and another MP in the family. He inherited Kilmacarra House, and he added 2 wings onto it, so it began to look like that. Not sure the date of that photo. That one, I think, a bit later. So the wings were added on in 1845, I think, and that was obviously a bit later. And then we came to Colonel Charles Ball Acton. For some reason, he changed his name by deed poll. He was the 3rd son of Lieutenant Colonel William, and so he didn't inherit. So he went back to Shropshire with his brothers, his younger brothers, and he was educated at Rugby and Cheltenham. And he and his brothers, Thomas and William, introduced the game of rugby to Cheltenham College. In actual fact, and I only found this out last week, and I got this picture through from the deputy head of Cheltenham College just yesterday, and I'm not sure if you can read it there. It basically says, near this place, rugby football was first played at Cheltenham College, bought here from Schoolhouse Rugby by the brothers Acton. So they brought the rules of rugby to Cheltenham. Not only did they bring the rules, they actually modified the rules. The original rules of rugby was that there was no points for a try. It was just the opportunity to try for a goal. You could then convert it into a goal. They introduced the concept of having at that time 1 point, but it was called a rouge for some reason. 1 point for a try, and then it was 3 points for a conversion. And the first inter-school rugby football match was played between Rugby and Cheltenham. Cheltenham won. And then the Cheltenham rules, as they were called, were adopted by the Rugby Football Union in 1887. So I thought it was really interesting to find out about that. So he was went into the army. He was in the King's Own Yorkshire Light Infantry. He had a son, Charles, who also educated at Rugby. He inherited Kilmacarra from his uncle. So his uncle died without any children. So family line moved back to Ireland. He was a Justice of the Peace. He was again in the Royal Welsh Fusiliers. He travelled extensively in the army, and he started bringing back. He had an interest in botany. He started bringing back exotic plants to Kilmacarra, and he started building plenty of botanical gardens there with his sister Jane. He was sadly killed in action on the Western Front in 1915. So the estate passed to his brother, who continues with the planting of botanical gardens, but he was sadly killed just a year later at the Battle of Ypres. And so 2 lots of death duties, as Howard will tell you, in a short period of time, basically crippled the estate financially. So that his son, who was my great uncle, inherited the estate, which was crippled financially, and he had to sell it in 1944. He leased it for a while, and then he sold it. He was only 2 years old when he inherited it. he went on to become quite famous in Ireland. He was the music critic of the Irish Times, has lots of quite prestigious positions. He died just in 1999, like I say. He was my great uncle. So Kilmacara House, not as it is today. This is Kilmacara House today. A little bit of a mess. There was a fire in 1976 and a subsequent fire during repair work in 1978, and it's all a bit of a mess now. It is going to be renovated over the next few years. There's funds for it, but that's me and my dad outside the house last May. But what they there's also the Acton Cafe within the grounds. So you can see on the shirt that Acton Cafe. So a little bit of infamy there. And in the grounds, like I said, we have the botanical gardens. They're now part of the botanical gardens of Ireland. Now no longer 5,000 acres, just 58 acres, unfortunately. And this rhododendron tunnel apparently is world famous. People love to go there for weddings, to have their wedding photos taken there. So, meanwhile, back in Shropshire, going back in time again, my 10 times great grandfather, not only was he MP for Bridge North, but his son, so the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th baronets, also became MP for Bridge North, a bit of a family business. The 5th baronet, he married into French nobility and he moved to France. And then the 6th baronet, he was in the service of the King of Naples. He actually became Prime Minister of Naples and Minister for Marine and War. Loads of awards and awards. We'll sort of gloss over the fact that with papal permission, he married his 13-year-old niece. Very quickly done. Other than that, he seems to be quite a respected guy. The 7th baronet, again in the Italian Navy, he married into German royalty and took the name Dolberg as well. Now, this is the one that I really love. The 8th baronet also became the first Baron Acton. I think we're now on the 9th Baron Acton, so this is the family line. Marquis of Gallipoli, MP, again MP for Bridge North, took that one back. Knighted by Queen Victoria. All sorts of things, lots of elite positions. He was my 9th cousin 4 times removed. And some of you may know him as Lord Acton, who said, power tends to corrupt and absolute power corrupts absolute. Does anybody know that? So that was my 9th cousin 4 times removed. So very nearly done, because then that just brings us up to date with this bloke. These are all my accreditations, not quite as lofty. I've reached as far as chairman of High Arundel Parish Council, but no power, no corruption, no family fortune either. So there you go. That's me. It's a year's worth of research there. Jane.
Well, I was so hoping it was going to end up with you announcing your baronet.
Unfortunately not. No.
So I did have a chance to look at the Sergeant of the what you call COI.
Yeah.
It's a historical order of legal professions. However, it's pronounced coif.
Coif.
And it comes from the word coiffure.
Oh, coiffure.
And it refers to a white hat, but it is from a French derivation.
Oh, very good. Thank you.
But thank you for that.
Thank you.
So who owns the house now and who's doing
It's now owned by Botanical Gardens and funds have been raised to do it up. Put the roof on first, and we've actually offered to go back in and help and sort of do a bit of volunteer work.
So you're Irish?
So yes, yeah, I have an Irish passport. I'm a tinker.
They're quite handy, aren't they?
So, oh yeah, very useful, especially when you've got your wife through to wherever in Europe and you just skip all the lines. Right?
But I normally then end up having to go and get the bags because I'm.
Yeah, exactly. It's also useful. I travel in my Irish passport in the Middle East because I'm the little leprechaun. My wife is British and Jewish. So take care.
Apparently, we voted the most powerful passport now in the world.
Indeed, yes.
The Irish.
Yeah, right.
Quick question. Matt and Toby, are you looking for a husband? I do have an Irish passport.
I can marry one of my daughters.
Given the ruling of the Supreme Court yesterday about transgender, probably we can marry something.
Yeah.
Paul, can we help with that?
Yeah.
Toby, thank you very much indeed for that excursion through your past.
That was actually thanks from Acton. That encouraged me to do that instead of doing something boring and businessy.
Oh man. No, excellent. We probably don't know you any better as a result of that.
No.
It's nice to know. Well,
So no family fortune, unfortunately.
right. If you could now do the running, we will move on to the referrals and testimonials round, and as usual, we'll start with the naughty corner and work round. Please.
Yeah, thanks, Toby. Yeah, I really enjoyed that. It's nice. Thank you. Got a vote for Howard, doing me. And thanks for my maths. Good week.
That was lovely, sorry. I really like the rugby fact.
Yeah.
Try for a goal.
Yeah, definitely.
That's going to stay up there. Referral for Solitaire. Thank you very much. Can't speak highly enough of all the different team. Whether found out where they was leaking the boiler on Monday, came out the next day, all the parts came yesterday and fixed all. Really, really.
Thank you, Paul, for your. It's not very worthwhile point about bringing the business as well. So yeah, that was fascinating. Yeah, and it's not. I know we all do business presentations, but yeah, a lot of research. Did very well there. Thank you. See you quick. That's great. Great, thanks. Nice to see it come together. Yeah, very good. And I have a referral to Mike. Spoke to you about that.
It's gone. It's exactly.
Charlie, hopefully we'll see you again. And yeah, happy Easter, everyone.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks very much for the invite back. I will be signing up. Really appreciate the warm welcome. It's kind of great to be with you on a Thursday morning moving forward. I do have a referral for Clara. My brother is looking for a first-time buyer mortgage, so I'll check the details.
If you wait to next week to end up when you get points on the league once you join.
Yeah.
Put it in again.
He's not actually.
No, that's true. It's good.
Good.
Good morning, everyone. I want to say thank you to Melissa Jackson for entering my money. No, I haven't.
Yeah, Toby, that's very, very entertaining. In actual fact, my friend myself was just talking the other day about the score in the rugby. Yeah, it's so now we'll come back. I've actually got one for Clara, which will contact you next week. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks to the Epsilon board. It's worth reminding everybody, more bums on seats, more referrals, not rocket science, but needs reminding, so well done for that. Yeah, really interesting, so really good. Fascinating. I love it. Thank you very much. Well, Charles, great to see you back, and hopefully we'll be good. Both ways, if this is 4 years, you'll be able to get support with that. So we spoke about that George Cow, we can be ready about his been trading for 2 or 3 years, it didn't just find his tax returns, and I suspect there's lots of tax due back to him. Nick Cook, sorry, he knows about that. And James Humphries, this is 2 weeks ago, TM your office insurance. You've organised it, it's all done.
Just out of interest, how do you injure your hand? Anybody you can sit?
All great as well. And yeah, that's really interesting. I really enjoyed that. Of course, I felt a little bit sorry for you because you've got quite a lot to live up to there.
Yeah.
I was thinking, I think in my history, we had a fairground barefist boxer and a highwayman before that. So if I'm not getting a big up, I'm actually doing quite well.
Behind me now, yeah.
Joshua, thank you for the contact with Kieran. I went out to chat with him yesterday, and that sounds like an interesting little project. And Terry, thank you for the task with Pushback. That's all I got this week. Thank you.
Great meeting as always. Good to see you again, Charlie. Absolutely delighted to be good. You did find out about this week podcast.
Yeah.
And well done, George, as well. I'm sorry I couldn't give you the advice, so, you know. But well done for coming along. Brilliant, 60 seconds. And yeah, George was lucky to have someone that was standing. Great head slot, Paul. Great reminder. I mean, that's one of the massive kind of benefits of this group is as Ben said on the podcast, you've got all these people that come to sales team. And Toby, am I the only person, the photograph of you and the lady at the coffee, the tea shop, you look very similar.
She was scared.
It seems like the gene pool in the Acton actually is not. Were you? Once and one with Ben. Thank you so much. And that's for Blake.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah,
that's very good.
That's right. I'll give you a text. But
Yeah.
brilliant meeting. Thank you.
Great Scott Paul. Great 10 minutes. My kids have a sleepover. That's currently what my house is. So I can relate. I got a interior record to Scott and Scott. One for Joe and one for you for your batteries.
Oh yeah, thank you.
A one-to-one with Scott. A synergy meeting with Jane.
I need this stuff today.
That's for today.
That's
This
today.
for today's
Yeah. I'm getting an early coffee. Whatever the car park. A referral to James. I need contents insurance renewal coming up for my house. If you can help. Another one for James. Car insurance is coming up for renewal in July. I just need costs to see if we can help. And see you all next week.
Great meeting today. I really enjoyed it.
Didn't go far.
For your head start training. Thank you for 10 minutes. I really enjoyed it actually. I've just got a thank you for the money to Clara for servicing my referrals.
And over here for Lake for stuff. Thank you. My son Benji just got back yesterday from his 3 days Duke of Edinburgh, and he was saying how good it was to have the passion packed food. Everyone else cocked up and made a mess and couldn't make their dinners properly. Ben's were just open to agony. Nothing clear up. Perfect. One-to-one with Blake, spent the day at Airsoft with a bad back, but he doesn't want to sit in a chair, drink coffee, and chat to Blake for the day because that's all it me as well. So we were both completely useless just watching our kids go out to play all day. Thank you for the money also to Matt a couple of times and Paul said, thank you very much.
Toby, thank you very much. That was very interesting. So we get to see your background, where you're from, and everything as well. So brilliant. And thank you, Paul, for the end slot. Always an important topic as well. So yeah, great to see you, Charlie, and great to have you with us as well. So I had a one-to-one with you, but also one-to-one there with Paul DeLuke. What?
Thank you.
Are you taking half? A one-to-one there with Corey. And then we've got a referral there for Leanne, which knows about already. And Toby, thank you to you for donating on my ringwalk appeal for the charity, which I put the link up for. So thank you very much for donating for that. And yeah, great meeting. See you next week.
Yeah, the meeting all. Thank you for your slot. Great 10 minutes. The only issue I've got there is you have the opportunity to kind of put a nail in the coffin of rugby and introduce football to more people.
No.
Instead of the sport becomes It's nice to get embarrassed by the Southern Hemisphere every year, isn't it? Thank you, Nani, for you and Terry. You can share that as you like. And I may see you next week.
Well done, Baron Toblerone Acton. Anything to do with Central Line?
Yeah,
I don't care.
I'd like
I
to
don't
think that
care.
our family owned half of a restaurant and back there.
Don't answer. It was rhetoric. Matt, thank you for sending the artwork over for Tall Paul's extra banners. Deal with that today. Thank you very much. And George, That's the invoices for services rendered thus far. You can get us Paul, please. As you pay the bill. And finally, welcome Charlie. You've got to pronouncing it properly, like August, which means infested. August rather than the month. We'll talk later.
Welcome. It's like Toby, great 10 minutes. Very different. Good to see the history behind you. And one other thing, guys, we are not at Brentwood Market this Saturday. So please don't send anyone down there. It's quite good. We'll be there next week. I'll see you all next week.
Great, merci. Thanks for the, it's got a whole fantastic 10 minutes. Toby, it's really difficult to that, and you talking to you on that. Referral to Paul. Daughter spoiler. I'll still say that when you call Paul or you message him, he comes back straight away. It's like on. So really like that. And Corey did a job for me as well. Your delivery guy was fantastic. Very chatty, very nice. Carried in 19 bank boxes, and I just sort of stood there and you got me out. Great. So yeah.
Is that how you get paid cash?
But thank you very much. See you next week.
Thanks for having me again. Lovely to see you all. Hopefully I won't be too long before I come back again. Thanks for the 10 minutes. Great. Well, I've got thanks to Howard for the monies and a referral from Matt while you're going over there for banner design and
just move one
flags.
That's not how it works.
And a referral for Vincent for the fan treatments.
Yeah,
thank you.
Great weekend, everyone. Interesting history of that. Really, yeah, cool family man. And thanks Paul for the let's one see everyone next week.
I did a referral for John, but I'm now regretting that one. Wherever it is. Yes, thank you for that. The back door is quite stiff, and therefore I needed some assistance. Yeah, great presentation, and thank you for the slot. And for a great meeting, thank you very much. Well, I couldn't find it, so that's what I was like.
Great, it's helpful. I keep looking for people, especially painters and decorators. Great 10 minutes. I didn't realise Acton English North was associated with you. What should I? I've got a referral from Toby that he's dealing with for a constructive dismissal claim.
I have that Blake.
Yeah. 10 minutes, a one-to-one for the airsoft because I was out playing. I didn't put my back in my head. And I'll see you all next week.
Yeah, great meeting, thank you. I always try to recruit people, but as I work with teenagers, it's not particularly useful. And yeah, it's a great 10 minutes. I always fall asleep and who do you think you are? I stayed awake for you, so I've got to thank you for the money to Paul Corrigan. I know he's not here, but what you said about him being really efficient, I send him an invoice and every time he pays it within about a minute, so he is the most efficient person.
It's quite
lucky
good.
for that now. Is it?
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody. Charlie, thank you for sitting back to join. It's nice to see you here today. Toby, well done. Not at all what I was expecting. Very interesting. Forever Baron King, I like. Thank you all for starting us off. And this used to be the meeting for this kind of discussion. My friend Jenny Hawes, Haws, went to the tournament, I think, with her 3 girlfriends for a meal, and we were 10 minutes early and asked to wait in the bar. And over the tannoy came table for 4 whores. Table for 4. I'll stop there. Happy Easter.
Excellent meeting, great slot. Thank you very much. Had a one-to-one with Ben. And well, here. Thank you for my landlord cover. All sorted. And I had a one-to-one with Charlie yesterday. Really pleased that you're joining. I'll put that through next week.
While we're here,
That's mine.
let me read
I
that.
need longer arms. Matt Barry, I think. Yes, it's Matt Barry.
Oh,
Yes.
good man.
Right. And as it's Easter, and that's on Black Friday,
Bonus it.
yeah.
Yeah, so you want to win.
Thank you very much, Toby, both for your obviously 10 minutes, but you're doing all the necessary in running. We've got the mayor of Gansfield Village now. Presumably, we've got the Baron of.
Oh, yes.
Who would you like to choose to be the Baron of?
Yeah. Quite like house.
Who's angry?
Right. We approach the end of the meeting. A great turnout again this week. Thank you very much. Has anybody got any announcements they wish to make to the meeting? Jane, what's
Synergy
going on?
meeting afterwards, everyone, and it's ways to build brand awareness for your business. Anybody can join, these aren't very long meetings, but I love your everybody.
Anybody else with any announcements that they wish to make? Scott.
Don't forget to tune into the podcast on the way home, that's all. Listen.
Right. It's a great day. I'll send you out into it. So, by way of James' synergy team meeting, have a great day. Have a great week, and I'll see you all next week.